And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your friend Cheap Ludes. I most certainly did not just wake up right before this, and 100% am ready to talk about the market and NBA 2K23, my team. I used my Good Morning America voice there. You know, I'm working on it. I'm trying to do news anchor things out here. Also, shout out to those Good Morning America hosts that got caught in like a super flagrant affair the other day by a private investigator. They got caught in like 4K at like 6 different locations. They were not being sneak about that whatsoever, which leads me to believe it's not really an issue in their lives. Also, can we talk about how being a private investigator is like the perfect career from like voyeur scumbags? Like, you're just like legally allowed to stalk people and you get paid for it. That's kind of wild. Like, if you're a PI, I don't know, man. Maybe not. Don't take the moral high ground because you literally stalk people for a living. Granted, like, those people might be scumbags, but still. I guess it's all about circumstance, that being said. Either way, let's talk about the market that had absolutely nothing to do with 2K23. I mean, I suppose you could say scum does because this is a scummy season already from the get-go. But let's talk about the market. So first things first, we got the fire packs. Pack odds were heinous, though if you go on Twitter, you're not going to be able to see the kind of like heinous odds because all you're going to see is people pulling Giannis and Lonzo Ball, which I've been seeing all day today and yesterday. Like, I don't understand how people pull these cards as often as they do because it's just like, dude, this is what I pulled in 250k MT worth of packs. I didn't even get Diamond Giannis. Despicable. Okay, this Giannis is essentially the exact same as the current series Giannis. He just has Hoff Bully. I'm not kidding when I say there's absolutely nothing different. Like, stats-wise, the exact same. To a T, pretty much. It's not exactly a card that I would recommend picking up. Really, you just have to look, okay, is it better to spend 2,200 MT or 30 tokens? That's really what you got to look at. If you already have current series Giannis, don't even pick this card up. Like, yeah, he's slightly better with the additional Hoff badge, but like, that's basically it. Like, there's really no other reason to pick this card up. I mean, we can go do a side-by-side comparison real quick if you want to go that route. This is, hold on, let me find the real one. There we go. So, I mean, he does have a few extra badges. And when you go to the stats, like, it's a little better in certain aspects, but for the most part, they're essentially the same card. Like, he's a little bit better defensively, he can rebound a little better, a tiny bit faster, but they're essentially the same. So it really just comes down, do you want to spend, he fluctuates between like 2,500 and like 3,500 MT. Like, is that worth 30 tokens to you? I don't know. I mean, obviously this is the better card out of the two, but really it just kind of depends what you're working with, really. Then we got Gerald Green. He's like 2,200 MT. I mean, he's okay. 6'7". He's kind of fun for dunk-related challenges. Like, if you have to get dunks, he's going to yam on people for sure. He can kind of shoot and stuff as well. He's just not really great. He doesn't really play great defense, doesn't have good defensive badges, but he is going to dunk on people, so it just kind of depends. And he's cheap, so, I mean, whatever you need. If you need him for something, pick him up. If you don't, just leave him alone, you know? Mo Bamba's kind of good. I mean, he's 7 foot tall, 231. Like, he's got Hoff anchor, and even though he's super duper skinny, like, the Hoff anchor will hold it down. He gets a lot of rebounds. He's just kind of slow, and his 3-point shot is decent, but he's not really the greatest card in the world. 75 speed isn't horrible, but I mean, he can't ball handle. There's not really a whole lot he does do. Then we got Diamond Giannis. If you have Chris Middleton, especially if you have an untradeable Chris Middleton, like unauctionable, like you got him for the PD pack or something of that nature, or you just have him on deck, I mean, picking up this Giannis is a good idea because he's essentially Pink Diamond Giannis at that point. And Chris Middleton can hold his own at the shooting guard or small forward. I prefer to run him at the small forward because he's big enough that he can guard most small forwards, but he's not really going to be moving around too much, so he's more of a cone. But I mean, Giannis is still so expensive, though. I mean, you're still kind of looking at bare minimum 65,000. Like, but he's been kind of fluctuating. Like, I saw him drop a little bit yesterday, but it looks like today he's kind of back up to over 80. 76 right here, which isn't half bad. I mean, that's really the cheapest one, at least that I see. I don't know. It just depends. Once again, if you want Pink Diamond Giannis, but you don't have Pink Diamond Giannis money, like, yeah, 76k for this Giannis isn't bad, but still pretty expensive. Rudy. Rudy is phenomenal. If you do not have a top tier small forward, Rudy is nasty. Like, his jump shot is ridiculous. His player build is huge, dude. His arms are like 9 feet long. Like, straight up, his arms are so long. It's crazy. They shouldn't be this long. Like, I just feel like his arms aren't that long in real life. I've been playing and watched Rudy Gay for a long period of time. I feel like he does not have the arms that he has. Like, he looks like he has stretch. He looks like Stretch Armstrong, if I'm being honest. Like, he's got the stretchy arms, dude. Shout out to Stretch Armstrong, bro. That toy was sick. Pretty sure they still make them, but they're probably dollar store exclusives at this point. But, yo, his arms were mad stretchy. You could just whip them around and stuff. It's pretty tight. You know, like slingshot arms. Either way, I mean, Rudy does everything well. Everything. Like, I don't think there's really anything that Rudy does badly. Like, yeah, his tendencies aren't the greatest for sure. That jump shot, although slightly slower than last year's, is easier to green than last year's. Elite. He dunks over everybody. He can play on the interior. Like, you can play him at the power forward. I'd recommend playing him at small forward, but you can play him at the power forward. His badge count is really solid. Not necessarily the greatest. He does need some badges. Like, you can't upgrade his clamps, so you have to accept that at a bronze level, which isn't horrible, but you need to accept it. Give him Claymore. Claymore's really good for him. Guard up is super good for him. Like, you can shoot over people right now without guard up. Like, that's crazy. Like, you can stroke over people with no guard up. I was pulling up. I was playing co-op with Smoke RF earlier, and I was literally pulling up from half court, no range with Rudy, and just splashing. Like, he's so good. Obi Toppin's pretty okay. He's very mid. Like, if you need a power forward, and there's really no power forwards that you can buy for MT, like, really at all. Not even just, like, budget options, but just period. There's not very many. Obi's actually pretty good. Like, you can go out with a budget squad and you can potentially win games with Obi if you need a power forward. Like, straight up, he's very solid. Same with Rudy. I mean, these two are both about the same size. Rudy just has way bigger arms. They do kind of the same things, but Rudy's just a better version. But Obi can attack the rim. His jump shot's not too bad. They're actually not that much different. Rudy's just a more meta version of what Obi does, like, straight up. He's good, though. I mean, for the price you can get him at, which is very cheap, like under 20K, I don't know if you're going to be able to find a power forward that will do more for you. Because, like, the other options just aren't really there, honestly. Like, you could grab, where is he? Like, Ben Simmons can play the power forward just fine, but he can't shoot. So I don't know if I would recommend that necessarily. You could pick up Aaron Gordon, but he's got a horrible jump shot. So, I mean, Obi might be the best one, honestly. Then we got Lonzo Ball. I've seen the critiques on Lonzo Ball. He does have a slow jump shot that I think is better at the shooting guard position. It's much better off the catch and shoot. He doesn't have a jump shot that allows you to create. Now, that being said, the size is great. The defensive tendencies are great. The badges are great. I mean, everything's good except for his ability to create his own shot. So if you're someone who, let's say, was big on like a Jason Kidd, you're gonna like Lonzo Ball quite a bit, or a Caruso, guys that are able to attack the rim but have kind of lackluster jump shots. You're gonna like those guys, and Lonzo's no exception to that. I mean, he's very solid. Just know what you're getting before you're getting him. People are gonna say he's trash, and the reason they're gonna say that is because they're used to running like Penny or Magic or something, somebody who can take over the whole offense. Lonzo's not gonna be able to do that. He's going to play lockdown defense, and he's going to be able to shoot wide open shots and attack the rim. He does dunk on people, though, for sure. So it just kind of depends what you're looking at. I mean, realistically, I think the hate on Lonzo Ball is a little high. He's just, if you have a shooting guard that you're going to run your offense through, like, Lonzo Ball is good. But is he worth 300K at that point? No. And then we got Giannis. I mean, it's Giannis. I don't really need to go into too much detail. If you got over 1 million to spend on one singular card, yeah, you're going to enjoy Giannis. Running Giannis and Tim Thomas next to each other should be a war crime, but here we are. So, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about Giannis. It is what it is. Then we got the new Season 3 cards. If you guys got guys like Sadiq Bey, is going for over 30. Can him, get him out of here. Rudy's going for over 15. If you have any of these cards realistically and they are auctionable, you should auction them now, because they're all going to go down in price significantly over the coming week or so. I mean, we got Tuesday packs coming. We don't even know what those are going to have. We just know that the odds are going to be terrible and these things are going to drop like so much from those packs. So if you have any of these cards, I would highly recommend selling them, especially like the gold ones, like Glenn Big Baby Davis for 8K. Like, yeah, for sure. Drew Holiday, I mean, you can get roughly around the same for him. These cards are going to be very, very cheap in like a week. So I would say sell them now while you have a chance. These cards aren't really that expensive. If you got like Miles Turner, it's probably worthwhile to sell him, being that he's super duper expensive for seemingly no reason. Like, yeah, you should definitely get 88K while you still can for Miles Turner. People aren't really buying this card to lock in for CJ McCollum as much as they're buying this card to get done with the moments of the week. So, yeah, you should do that. Dave Bing is not very good. I wonder what jump shot they gave him this year. I'm actually kind of curious about that. Let me check it out. I mean, it's not like Dave Bing is like a meta card, so it's not like, yo, you need to pick up Dave Bing if he has a fire jump shot or anything. But like, I'm still more curious because they hoed him so massively last year that I want to know what they gave him jump shot wise. I bet it's trash. Jalen Noel base. He's basically Leandro Barbosa. I don't really know how to feel about that, to be honest, but it is what it is. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, shout out to the homie Chris, bro. That was his name before he did the name change. I think I just dead named him, but it is what it is. He's pretty fun. He's got a duo with Dikembe. That's cool. The one card I would say that I would recommend highly picking up for limited, if you plan on running limited, would be Robert Covington. Robert Covington is probably going to be beneficial for this season and limited because he's really, really solid at the small forward. Easy to time jump shot, good badge count, good tendencies. Like, he's Robert Covington. You already know what you're getting from him, but he is an elite level Sapphire for sure. And it doesn't look like we're going to be getting a whole lot of Sapphires, so he's worth picking up for like 4K. People are going to want to pick up Scotty Barnes. I don't necessarily think... I thought he was flipping me off here for a second. He's not really that good. Jose Alvarado, though. Like, straight up, for an Emerald, he's gas. Like, you need to pick him up for anything that you need to do offline. Or even, like, if we have to use Emeralds for, you know, limited in any capacity, Jose Alvarado is gas. Like, look at these Tandos, dude. Like, this is an Emerald, dude. My man has 99 pass intercept, 95 on ball steal. Wild for an Emerald, dude. And he can shoot. He's got an okay jump shot. He comes standard with ankle braces, challenger, gold glove, interceptor, pick dodger as an Emerald, dog. Look, is the jump shot great? No, of course not. It's Jose Alvarado we're talking about, all right? Don't expect the most meta jump shot in the world, but, like, can he hold it down? Most certainly. He's got Chris Chiuza base on slow. It's not great. He's not really going to dribble, but he is a fantastic defensive point guard for sure, and I think he's worth it. He's got 88 speed, like 87 three-pointer. Like, he's good for offline stuff. Boobie Gibson's out here. That's the homie. That is the homie for sure. Over here, I don't think any of these guys are necessarily worth picking up. Like, Kenny Walker is kind of a decent, like, stretch 3, stretch 4. He's okay, but... Oh, what? They gave him a 57 three-pointer? My bad. I thought he had a 74 three-pointer. Never mind. He sucks. There's no point picking him up. Malik Beasley's cool for offline stuff. Nate Robinson's super tight for offline stuff. Like, they gave him 9 gold badges. He be booming on people, dude. I think he has a 90 driving dunk, like 90 or 86 ball handle, 96 speed. Yeah, he's fun for dunking on people for sure. That being said, none of these guys I think are really, really worth it at the end of the day. Really, nothing has changed from a market perspective. I mean, there's some badges that are kind of more expensive. It's always best to kind of look at what badges Giannis doesn't have and what can be applied, like blinders, catch and shoot, clutch shooter, claymore. So majority of people are going to put guard up on him. Blinders, catch and shoot would be the big one for sure. If you have catch and shoot in any capacity, like, it's probably pretty expensive. So let's go take a look at that. Let's see. Let me find. I like how they, by the way, underrated thing that they did this year was, it's stupid that I even have to talk about this because it should have been like this from the get-go, but this is kind of how we have to talk about 2K. Most of the time, people say that the things are like a major W. They should have just been like that in the first place, so, like, we can't be giving props on things like this, but it is what it is. Catch and shoot actually isn't as expensive as I anticipated, but I feel like you only really see, like, gold and below badges going up in price on cards that are reasonably affordable for the community, right? Like, the people who are buying Giannis probably have a bunch of Hoff badges or are buying one with a bunch of Hoff badges, right? If you have over 1.5 million, chances are you're not golding up anyone at this point, right? So you're really only going to see badges raise up in price on guys like Kristaps Porzingis that people can reasonably afford. Guys like Giannis, guys like Durant, they're typically not raising the price up because the people who are, like I said, are able to afford to even buy these cards in the first place probably aren't ready to put gold badges on them. You know what I mean? They want Hoffs. So I wish you could sell Hoff badges. That would be so sick. I would be slanging Hoff badges. I feel like that's probably the reason that they don't let you do that, because the MT rewards would be fat, dude. Either way, new episode of the Our Team podcast will be coming out tomorrow. I was going to say today, but it's tomorrow for sure. Should be a good one. You know, we got Splash Edition on there. We got JD on there, who is very not happy with the current state of my team and should be vocal about this fact. So check that out tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. As always, it's been your friend Cheap Ludes. I'm not excited about this season. Peace.